Hey, what's up, Monica?
What's up?
Not much. How you doing?
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday indeed.
It's
Let's see.
hot.
Where's It's hella hot. It's hella hot. I'm glad I have short hair. But you seen Matt?
Who?
Matt, you know, your brother, the one with the really long,
Oh,
gorgeous, beautiful
my
hair.
brother.
Oh, what's up, guys?
Pretty
Oh my
glorious.
God.
You mean Kuya?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Maganda Forever podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Vince.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Monica.
And today we are talking about episode 3 of What If.
Great episode. This one probably my favorite. I'm gonna even put it above
Oh,
the
damn.
these because it was so divergent. That's why I like it when it's like so off the
Yeah.
so
I,
like out there.
I think that the second one is still top for me just because parts of this were a little predictable, but then parts of it, like the twist, like, oh, I kind of see where
That
it's
twist.
going, but then you're like, oh, but this.
Yeah. I would say number 2 is still my favorite also, but this one is just right below it. I liked it better than the first one,
Yeah.
the Captain Carter one.
It was a who done it. It was like something we haven't seen before.
Yeah, and I was actually like,
Yeah.
I didn't know. Like I was like, wait, what?
Who is the holiday killer?
But
I had an idea like pretty early on, but I was like, I'm just gonna see how this plays out because I don't know the motive. And then you
I didn't
find
know
out.
who the killer was until they were fighting Widow in the library.
Oh no, I
For
knew
the-
before then.
Okay, all right, yeah. I was gonna ask you guys when did you like already know who the killer was? Because I
when
didn't.
they revealed it, because I didn't know.
When
I had
that
no
man
clue.
said-
I knew after they looked at it in the microscope.
Oh.
Ah.
Well, see, I was
Anyway.
Still, yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So
Anyway,
spoilers
before
again
we
for episode 3.
yeah.
We're gonna go into it.
Wait, did you guys want to talk about any trailers first?
Oh yeah. Let's talk about the Eternals in the Spider-Man trailer. Of course, the Spider-Man trailer.
Yeah.
Shit was
Which one do you want to
crazy.
cover first?
We could do the Eternals.
Let's do
Okay.
Eternals first.
I still have no idea what's going on in there. It looks cool, but like, I
So-
guess.
I'm excited because they finally revealed the plot line for the
Yeah.
movie. Because
Oh, they did.
yeah. So it was interesting because the previous ones, like just based off of research, because none of us have read the comics with the Eternals before. I was like, okay, so there's this one plot line where they all like lose their memory. Maybe they're doing that. Like maybe they're doing this, like trying to come up with different ideas of why they didn't interfere with Thanos or any of the previous like near like apocalypse events. In this latest trailer, it's revealed by Ajax, who is Selma Hayek. She's the healer / like spiritual leader, and she's talking to the actual like leader of the Eternals, Icarus. That
The Stark brother.
yeah, that like
Not Tony Stark, but Game of Thrones Stark.
but the whole thing with the snap, like Thanos snapping people away and then Hulk snapping people back, caused this like big energy like to appear, I guess, on Earth, and they call it the emergence. And then another character later will say that the reason why they never interfered was because their direct orders were to only interfere if a deviant was involved. So even though Thanos was born from Celestials with a deviant gene, they said because his parents were Celestials, he's still like a weird in-between. So
Yeah,
like
that's where I was confused.
I was a little confused too, but I think it's because his parents were Celestial, so he's more recognized as a Celestial, just an outcast, but not like an actual deviant. It's a little borderline, so I'm not sure.
It looked cool. Like I like all the effects and everything. I don't really like if you remember the scene where maybe it's like the leader of the deviants, the one that looks more like a human.
Yeah.
He was like holding up Angelina Jolie's character. I didn't really like the way he looked.
Yeah, he looked
kind of weird to me.
Okay.
And then there was that one Eternal who looked like a combination of the Destroyer and Galactus. So I was kind of confused. I was like, is that Galactus?
So yeah. So they do flashbacks of like kind of like where they appeared from. So the Eternals were created by the Celestials, which we met a Celestial in Guardians 2, Ego, who's Peter Quill's father. And their whole like thing is to just defend different, like on Earth, it's mankind from the deviants, and deviants are like all over the universe. So the one in the trailer with the like that looks like what's his face that you just Galactus?
Galactus.
His name is Erishim the Judge. And someone posted about the other ones based off concept art of other celestials we might see. The other one is Jamia the Analyzer, Nazar the Calculator, and Hargan the Measurer. And I guess like the idea is like maybe they might come together and like judge Earth for like they used celestial power to bring people back. I don't know. Like we might see more of the celestials than just like the brief glimpses that we had. Like nowhere was the severed head of a celestial. Ego we saw quite a bit in Guardians 2, but not in like his celestial form because he was just like a planet.
Do all the celestials, do they have the capability to look like a human, like how Ego is?
I'm not sure because like the way that Ego did it was that he was a living planet and he just projected himself that way, right? So I don't know because all the other celestials we've seen so far, like the severed head was a whole planet. And then from the collector story when he's talking about the Power Stone, that was like a huge, I think his name was it Isan or something. He still looked like a giant. So I don't know how it's gonna play out.
I don't either. I mean, one of the cool things about this is that pretty much a lot of people don't really know about Eternals, right? So a lot of it is going to be pretty new to majority of people. So that's what I'm excited about.
I feel like it's similar to Guardians when Guardians first came out because like the Guardians comic line is so old that like we knew one person that remembered reading it, but not the details. So like it's kind of like they could start anywhere. The way that they're playing this out is that it's like all of mankind's advancements were stemmed from like the Eternals giving gifts to mankind. Like in previous trailers, we see Cersei like helping them with irrigation for their crops. In this trailer, it's kind of hinted at like one of the Eternals that has like the ability to like with machinery or like technology, like maybe he helped them with nuclear fission and like they created the atomic bomb. Like it's kind of hinted at. But yeah, so they're like here for like thousands of years and they're only coming out of the woodwork now because the cosmic energy like caused something called the emergence that's going to happen in 7 days that they have to prevent. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
But now the real trailer, the Spider-Man, I don't even remember what it's called.
Far From Home.
No, isn't that
No Way Home.
No Way Home.
Far From Home.
No
was
Way
the
Home.
Europe one. Yeah.
But that trailer was sick. That got me hella hyped.
Do you guys
Okay.
think someone's controlling Doctor Strange? Because he was kind of
It's
acting
Mephisto.
like... Oh, okay. It is. It might be really Mephisto.
Hey, the more I see online, I'm still back on that train, dude.
It's Dottie, dude. She's back,
You're on
dude.
that train or you're on this train?
I'm on the train that Toby's like.
So
that trailer was sick.
Yeah, the Spider-Man trailer picks up right where we left off from Far From Home, where Jay Jonah like reveals that it was Jay Jonah, right? On like the webcast or something. He reveals to everyone that Peter Parker is Spider-Man and that he...
No, it was Mysterio.
No. Mysterio revealed it, but then Jay Jonah announces it.
Oh, that's what I mean. Okay.
Yeah, it's the web leak thing.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so Mysterio like gets like the film altered so that it looks like Peter killed him with the drones that like were Peter's drones. So he's being held up for the crime of like murdering Mysterio. And like there's all this press and like he can't get any peace and like all of his loved ones are being interrogated for this murder. And he just gets really desperate. So he goes to Sorcerer Supreme. He's like, I have a favor to ask. And then he's like, sir, or like Mr. or something. And then he was like, please, we saved the universe together. And then he was like, all right, Steven. He was like, this is weird, but I'll allow it. And he's basically like, can you do a memory wipe so that no one remembers that I'm Spider-Man? And then
that part was kind of that was reminiscent of in the comics when Peter makes a deal with Mephisto so
Boom.
that
That's one more day.
one more day. Everyone forgets who he is, or that he's really Peter Parker. But the cost is that he and MJ aren't together. And he talks to MJ about it, and he's like, "We'll find each other eventually. Like it's bound to happen." But that was, oh no, it wasn't that no one. It was for Aunt May's life. I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
Aunt May gets killed, and then he makes the deal with Mephisto to bring Aunt May back. But then it's at the cost of him and MJ being together. But this one kind of still felt like that. It's like he's making a deal.
Well,
Yeah, that's why,
so-
dude.
Yeah, it
So,
might be
like,
Mephisto. I think it
why?
might be
before
right.
he goes to Doctor Strange, like MJ's even saying, like, aren't you kind of like relieved that you don't have to hide it anymore? He's like, well, I didn't want to hide it from you, but how do you tell someone that you're Spider-Man? And so like it's kind of like it seems like their relationship is growing because there's more truth to each other, that he doesn't have to hide it anymore. And like when he encounters Strange, it's weird because the whole inside of the sanctum is
Yeah, it's all snow.
yeah. So I was like, were they experimenting? Is this part of like the Doctor Strange storyline? Does this take place before?
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
Strange and Wong got snapped away. Remember, they were gone for like 5 years.
I thought only Strange was snapped. I thought Wong
No.
was alive.
No, Wong got snapped too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But then also wasn't it weird that Doctor Strange like agreed to do the spell? Because in the trailer, Wong's like, don't do the spell. And then he basically he like winks and then he basically does the spell.
Especially since he was so like focused on guarding the multiverse and
Exactly.
the timeline.
So
Like,
isn't that like hella suspicious?
It
I
is.
wonder if part of it is like him coming back to like 5 years and like maybe something happened to his love interest or like just acclimating to being back after 5 years. And he's just kind of like,
I read speculation that it's because like he's naturally cocky. Like he was always kind of arrogant.
that's true.
Yeah,
And it didn't shine through in the previous movies because he was alongside Stark and like other cocky characters like Star-Lord. So it's like they kind of had to reel in his character.
That's
But
true.
now that he's around Spider-Man, who's like more, modest and
innocent.
humble.
I
Yeah,
think
then he
also
can shine
the
through
line
in
that
his
we get
cockiness.
the line we get from Wong before he leaves, because basically like Wong's leaving for something, and I'm wondering if it's because he's in Shang-Chi also.
Yeah,
right?
dude. I think
So maybe it's
he's going to
happening-
Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it's happening concurrently. So Wong
I have
is
to fight
leaving-
Abomination. Excuse me.
Wong is
I want to say
leaving.
no to a tuna melt.
Wong is leaving as Peter is there to petition Doctor Strange for his help. And he says, like, this is way out of your scope. I know that you're the Sorcerer Supreme, but like, this is dangerous. Don't do it. And I think the fact that he's kind of like trying to draw that line is pushing him over the edge to his cockiness, where he is like, it's nothing. Like, we saved the universe. I could do this. So then we see Strange performing the spell, but as it's happening, Peter's starting to realize what it means, because it means that like no one will remember. So not Aunt May, not MJ, not his friend, not Happy. Like, so he'll have no support system, and like who knows if even the Avengers will know who he is. So like all this stuff that's disturbing, like Doctor Strange is like, shut up, stop talking, stop changing the spell. Like as soon as it's ended, you could tell it already went wrong. So then Strange is saying like the issue is that you're trying to lead these two lives as Peter and as Spider-Man, and you have to choose like who you actually are going to be, because it's like we caused a rip in like time and space and stuff.
When you think about it, in the larger MCU, not counting the Netflix series, Peter Parker is the only one with a secret identity. So he's the only one living two lives. Everyone else is kind of out there with who they are.
Yeah, that's true.
And also at some point in the trailer, in a seems like a kind of evil-ish voice, you hear Doctor Strange say like, be careful what you wish for.
That's at the end.
So yeah, so maybe that's another indicator that it could be Mephisto. I don't know.
We do see that Strange is still alongside him, so like he's aware of the change that they did. He's like, we tampered with time or whatever. And then you see him pushing his body out, kind of like
oh yeah, the project
the astral projection when he just like
astral projection,
yeah.
So
Which they totally stole from Smallville. I will have you know. I'm not even joking. Remember when
I don't even remember that, dude.
Martian Manhunter got his real self slapped out of him, and then it shows his like Martian form, like it goes out of his body. Yeah,
I don't even remember that.
Fucking biters.
But yeah, it's what the Ancient One did to Steven, he's doing to Peter, where he like pushes him out of his body. And then you see different things like they're on a train and like Steven's like duplicating the train or something. It's really weird. And like it's odd seeing Doctor Strange so like his first movie self, because like you said, he was so responsible in the Avengers movies because he had to be, because like there's more at stake, I think. But yeah, and then the last scene we see is that the ground breaks open and then Doc Ock appears, like his tentacle appears. He's like, "Hello, Peter." So I'm
no, you see you also
Pumpkin
see
bomb.
the Hobgoblin, yeah.
Oh
Or
yeah,
Green
the bomb.
Goblin.
Yeah. You're right. Forgot about that.
And then we hear him. Do you think that was really what's his name? Willem Dafoe's voice?
I hope so.
I
It
hope it's in
sounded
the
like
Power
him.
Ranger suit. I want
That'd
to
be
see him in the
crazy.
Power Ranger suit.
I hope so. I seen like memes where it was that scene, but then it was the Green Goblin from the Andrew Garfield one.
Andrew Garfield, yeah.
And then people are like hella disappointed. I mean, they haven't said who. So pretty much all the rumors, which are basically kind of true, like a lot of people have said this person's coming, like Jamie Foxx is coming as Electro, which there was a there's like electricity in the trailer. There's obviously there's Doc Ock, which revealed to be the same one from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
It's great.
Who else is coming back? Shoot, what's coming back? There was a scene. It was like really quick, but Peter is somewhere kind of dark, and there was something kind of coming at him. People are saying that that's either Venom or Lizard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's right. I forgot about Lizard.
yeah.
Yeah, they got to fold the Venom and Carnage into this universe. Maybe if not Carnage, hopefully Venom, because I mean, you're just there.
Yeah.
What if it's
So they got a lot
Topher
of good
Grace's Venom?
What?
Topher Grace's Venom.
Oh, dude, that fool went to church. That fool went to church to pray. To kill Spider-Man.
Some dumb shit, dude. Greatest Spider-Man movie ever. I hope we see Dancing Toby. Bring them all back.
Dude, I hope so. There's a. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm wondering because he says like, "Hello, Peter." Like, it is from a different timeline, but do you think he had met Doc Ock at all? Like, does he even know who this guy is?
So there's the speculation that he's talking to
he's
Tobey
behind
Maguire.
him? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I hope they bring they got to bring out the other Spider-Man in and have a cartoon Spider-Man just in there.
Pointing.
And Porky.
Doing the memes.
No, there's there's the rumors that the other Spider-Man, like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, are going to be in it, and then I saw something that they denied it, but I mean that's maybe they have to say that, just to throw people off, So I hope it's true. I hope to see them.
I'm hyped for both movies. They both look pretty good.
Yeah. Wait, so if Doctor Strange is saying that he messed with time, does that mean that Loki in the TVA is currently at the same time, like happening? So like maybe he thinks he did it, but actually it was Sylvie and Loki.
I'm wondering if this is gonna happen while, like, how all of those bombs went off and it branched too much and they couldn't control everything. So it just like slipped through the cracks, maybe.
I don't know.
So he might think that he did it, but really it was Sylvie and all that stuff.
I don't know. I'm wondering if they'll save the TVA stuff until the actual Doctor Strange movie. I like that he was wearing the cloak and like on top of a like hoodie and joggers, like it's just home clothes, like sweatpants.
Either way, I'm hella.
The cape flies to him when he comes out of the shower. He's totally LeBus.
No, the cape is a curtain.
one thing I forgot to add about the trailer, because I was curious about how exactly Thanos is related to the Eternals.
He's a
I
cousin,
guess,
right?
yeah, he's the cousin of Angelina Jolie's character, like his
Yeah.
parents and her.
Oh, now that you say it, I can kind of see it. Should've
The
gave her-
lips look like his
Lips.
chin. Yeah.
But I'm wondering if that'll play into it, like why they didn't take action, because he does have the deviant gene, but he's not actually a deviant. So I don't know.
Maybe they were trying to go after him, but then she was just like, don't, we're family. Like maybe she was the one that kind of prevented them.
Yeah, I don't know how close they are in the comics, but I was just wondering if it was possibly a factor. So anyway, back to episode 3. I liked it. It's very similar to episode 1 in that you see a lot of the same scenes but animated, but it was different enough, like more different than the first one, because even in the first one, some of the stealth scenes and fight scenes with Captain Carter were very similar to Steve. Like the reveal of like her with the gun is similar to like Steve when they revealed his new outfit. So this one picks up right at when they're trying to recruit Iron Man. Do you remember which Iron Man movie?
Yeah, it was an Iron Man.
That was
2.
second. Yeah, that was the second one.
Okay. Yeah, so it's Widow and Fury
Nick.
driving up to that donut. They're like, I'm gonna have to ask you to exit the donut. And they're just like giving his whole spiel. And I actually don't remember if in the movie, like Natasha actually stabs him with something. She does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this follows the exact same like plot, like words and stuff for that scene. But this time when Natasha injects him with something to help with like all the stuff in his blood, it actually kills him. And they're trying to figure out like, did someone tamper with the antidote? Like what's happening? So Natasha is put in jail.
Like, oh fuck, I used my widow's bite. My bad.
Natasha's put in jail, and Fury said like, oh, my hands are tied because like we don't know who did it, and for all intents and purposes it looks like it was you. But he hands her the vial so that she can go undercover and figure out who's framing her and who's like why someone took out Tony Stark. And like meanwhile, Fury is still trying to like assemble the Avengers and going through his whole roster. We go next to Thor, and it's the same scene again. Like Coulson finds the hammer, and Thor's trying to get to it.
Yeah, that was cool seeing like the reenactments of the different Phase 1 movies in cartoon form. Like they did it faithfully, even down to some of the dialogue. Especially the Iron Man one.
Except for the glorious hair.
The glorious. We don't know. We were seeing it from Thor's perspective, so maybe they did say it when they were doing it live action.
That's so funny, dude. That was so funny.
Coulson's description is correct, sir. It's truly glorious hair.
It's an accurate description, sir. Yeah,
so we see Thor trying to access Mjolnir, and Hawkeye is in his coop trying like, one word, sir, and I'll like one shot, one kill or whatever. And then thunder strikes and you see like he slipped or something and his arrow goes through Thor and instantly kills him. So Nat is on the run, trying to figure out who like framed her for killing Tony Stark. And now Clint is in prison because they think that he killed Thor on purpose. And then I forget if the Asgard contingent comes when like before or after Natasha talks to
I think it's during. It's during. It's like, yeah.
Okay, so happening concurrently, Natasha goes and it's like the scene from Hulk, but this time like she's talking to oh my gosh,
Dr. Ross.
Dr. Ross, thank you.
Yeah. Betty Ross.
Betty Ross.
Betty Ross,
so, yeah, it's the scene right before like Hulk is like with General Ross and he brings like all of the like army to take him down. But
it's when remember when it was Edward Norton who was disguised as a pizza delivery boy.
Yeah.
And, same thing.
Yeah. So they're in the lab and then they're like trying to figure out something about the Hulk blood or something like that.
Yeah. But instead of examining Hulk's blood, they're actually examining the antidote pen that Natasha injected into Tony, and Betty says like it looks like the serum didn't even hit his veins, like something exploded out of it before. So she's like, oh, so I'm looking for some kind of like a projectile or something. Like, I'm not a ballistics expert. And Natasha, like just seeing the pizza boy like clothes and all that stuff, she knows that Bruce is somewhere close.
God, it would have been great if it was Edward Norton that came out.
I
That's
know.
his voice, dude. That would have been so perfect.
It was cool that they
Use that
recreated that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, there's no MCU individual Hulk movie, but it was cool that they, I guess, paid homage to
I
the
think Mark
other one.
Ruffalo is the biggest name they got back for the main role
In
they
this
didn't-
episode.
in this whole series, because they didn't get Chris Evans for Captain America,
They
and
got
that wasn't.
almost- they
They
got
got hella people in this episode.
They got Sam Jackson, but I'm talking like Avengers wise. They actually got one of the Avengers actors back
They-
because
that was really Clint, and that was really
Yeah, they got Jeremy Renner.
I know, but like bigger names. Like I'm talking about Hulk. This is actually Hulk, and it was actually
Oh.
Mark Ruffalo's
Yeah.
doing the voice. So that was pretty big. Chris Hemsworth just grunted. I don't think that was actually Chris Hemsworth.
You never know. He was really what the frog Thor.
The Throg. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
But yeah, so Natasha like is now like, okay, I have to find like really small ballistics that like came out of this like basically an EpiPen. And at the same time, Fury is dealing with a whole like Asgardian like army that comes down, and they're like, we're here because one of your mortals killed the Prince of Asgard, and it's Loki leading like all of Thor's merry men. Like Sif is there. I think you see all of them.
I didn't see any of. I only saw Sif.
I only remember seeing Sif.
I think
But
yeah. Well, Sif actually had a line, but I remember seeing the red-haired guy with the beard.
Oh, I didn't see that guy. I didn't see the samurai.
Oh.
I didn't see the big dude.
They're in a quick shot in the background.
Oh.
But they have
wow.
like a whole army, and it's interesting because Loki even says like the rightful ruler of Jotunheim, so he knows that he's from Jotunheim, but then he's still there.
Oh, I didn't
for
catch
Thor.
that.
Yeah, he's like, I am Loki, Prince of Asgard, rightful ruler of Jotunheim, and then like, so it's interesting because this is already.
Oh, you know what? I stand corrected because they got Tom Hiddleston back as Loki. He was a pretty big name too, so he was up there.
Yeah, in this episode, there's a lot of OG actors like Tom Hiddleston, Jeremy Renner. I think Lady Sif was also the OG one.
It was Lady Sif. They got Coulson, obviously. They got
Coulson, Sam
they,
Jackson.
They even got Crossbones. They got Frank Grillo back as Bruck Romolo.
Yeah.
Rumlow.
Yeah.
But they didn't get that. Kind of sucks. I don't think we're ever gonna see Scarlett Johansson back after the whole lawsuit.
I know.
They got it was Lake Bell. She's a
Lake Bell.
pretty
She did a pretty good job.
popular actress, yeah.
And whoever did the imitation of Tony Stark was pretty good. And I'm forgetting someone else. And they didn't get Betty Ross or Thunderbolt Ross back. But yeah, everyone else.
They got we'll talk about the reveal later, but the person who was
that's right.
Yeah.
The killer. Yeah. So happening concurrently with Natasha talking to Betty Ross is this whole thing with like Fury telling him like he also killed some of our own. They're good people. Like we're after whoever is perpetrating these murders. Because we actually see before this, Clint is in prison and he's like, I didn't do this. I don't slip. That's not what I do. And then he slumps over and you find out that he's also been killed. So now it's been Tony, Thor, and Clint are all dead. And then so Fury calls Natasha saying that like it looks like they're targeting people in the Avengers Initiative roster, and you and Bruce are both on it. So you need to find him and get to safety. And she was like, oh, he's closer than you think. And like, sure enough, Bruce is hiding behind some double doors, and she's trying to talk to him about like what's wrong and like you need to get to safety. And he's saying like, I can't die, I can't be killed. Like you're actually safer if you get away from me. And this is when we see that scene from the original Hulk where Thunderbolt Ross rolls up with all those tanks.
And they're on that bridge.
Yeah. And
there's no Blonsky though.
That's true.
Natasha in that moment is saying like, I'm like Natasha Romanoff. He's under my jurisdiction. I'm taking him in to my custody. and it seems like they're at a standstill, but then all of a sudden someone shoots, and even Thunderbolt Ross is like, who fired? Like, hold your fire. And then Hulk like goes Hulk, he goes green, and then he jumps down there. Natasha jumps also, and she saves Betty from being caught in the crossfire. And then she turns and sees that Hulk, for some reason, is like his bubbling up, and then he just explodes. So now Hulk is
sick.
also dead.
That was dope. I
They're
thought
like,
that
he
was
can't
sick.
be killed. He can't be killed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Betty's
And-
like, he can't. Like, she has a whole nervous breakdown.
Yeah. And that scene also was pretty much just like, in a way, like the movie where Betty like pleads to her dad basically to like stop.
God, it
and
would have been so
everything.
much better if they got Liv Tyler back. Oh my
I
God.
know.
That
She
would've
was
been
like-
sick.
She has a pretty distinct voice.
Yeah. She was telling Natasha even that like he'll listen to me, like he knows who I am, but then she's like, no, it's not safe. And then that's when Bruce explodes.
Natasha's
I
like,
thought- I thought-
watch this. Sun's getting
Sun's
pretty low.
getting low. Yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't even know how to do that. Hang on. The battle of the X's.
But I will say, and we'll get to the reveal later, but I think this, I knew, kind of had an idea of who the killer was when Natasha was looking at under the microscope with Betty, and then this scene solidified it for me. So I was just waiting for like,
Dang, you knew right away,
You caught
dude.
right
I was
there.
like-
Yeah, I didn't know.
I was like, what was the motive? So, but yeah, we'll
Damn,
get to
too
that
good.
later.
I was still
Oh.
thinking like it was either because she said projectile, and I was thinking like it was a weapon. I didn't even think of what else, what it actually was. So
Yeah.
There was also a scene where this was before the Hulk, before Bruce turned into the Hulk, and then Natasha is like trying to talk to him, and she said basically the same thing that she said in the first Avengers movie when she was like, everything's gonna be okay. Like I swear on my life. Yeah, so that was a cool little Easter egg on there.
Yeah, that was a good catch. So while this is all happening, so Fury was able to talk Loki down to like, we are also looking for a killer. We should be allies. And Loki says, okay, you have until the next sunrise, until like you deliver the killer to me. And this whole time he's trying to figure out like who else could it be. And it's actually Coulson that's like, there's actually one more name on the list. It's yours. So Fury is also a target now. And he, he's still like trying to figure out what's going on, but then Natasha goes into the archives using Coulson's credentials to like do more investigating. And
That part
knew
hella
that
got
his-
me.
I knew his password was supposed to be something like this.
It's
Like,
Dude, that hella got me.
Steve, I love Steve, like 42 or something like that.
It was 0704, I think, because it was
0704, that's
July
right.
4th.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Hashtag
But-
Steve. I love Steve's 0704.
So, yeah,
So
so-
good. I was hella dying.
so Natasha uses Coulson's password to get into Shield archive because like basically her credentials are frozen because they think that she killed Tony Stark. And he's like, I'm not giving it to you, Natasha. And she was like, come on, just give it. And then it's that really embarrassing. So she finally gets in and she's like, what does a woman that died 3 days ago have to do like snooping in these, or someone who died like months ago was snooping in the server 3 days ago? So she was like, oh, I know who the killer is. And that's when the killer is actually
On
there.
the pictures, it also shows that
Oh yeah.
the X over Hope Van Dyne, or not Hope, Janet Van Dyne's picture, but it has like other people's pictures. Like I think there was Nick Fury, Alexander Pierce was there.
Alexander Pierce.
Yeah. Who else was, I forgot. the
Maria
other
Hill.
pictures. Maria Hill, that's right. All different Shield agents, but it has an X over Janet Van Dyne. So that's one of the first clues that kind of pointed to who the killer is. And then obviously the fight scene in the library, the way it was like shot, that was also a giveaway to who it was.
Yeah. So the way
I didn't even know, dude.
the way that it's shot, like you see Natasha fighting and she's like desperate and she connected the dots. She knows who the killer is. And now she just has to let Fury know. But the way that it's shot, you never actually see her opponent. So she finally leaves a voice message for Fury and it's like, it's hope. It's all about hope.
At first I thought she said Hulk. I thought she said it's Hulk. It's all about Hulk. I'm like, what? This motherfucker already died. But then later on, they
Yeah.
said it was Hope, and I was like, oh, okay, that solidifies who it is.
Yeah, so this brings us back to Fury. Like, it's not sunrise yet, but it's getting close. And Coulson says, like, you're still on the list. Now everyone's dead, like, because Natasha was killed in that fight. And so he gets into his car and he like pulls out the gadget to call Captain Marvel, and he's like, oh, it's all about hope. And then he's kind of had a like son of a bitch moment, like that's what Natasha meant, and he actually puts it back in the glove compartment so he doesn't activate it. And he tells Coulson like he's gonna go make a deal with the devil or something. So he drives to wherever like Loki used the it's the Tesseract, right? Or no, it's the ice thing.
It's like an ice.
Yeah, I forgot what
I
it's
forgot the
called.
name.
From the original Thor movie. So he used
Yeah.
that to make like an ice like tower. So Fury went there to like make a deal with him of like, we know who the killer is. And the next scene we see Hope Van Dyne's tombstone. So it turns out that she had died somehow.
They said she died in Odessa, Ukraine. Was that when Natasha was like, shot out my tires and he shot me through my mark? Maybe that she was on that. She was on that detail, and she was killed by the Winter Soldier.
So that's one of my theories is especially when they showed Alexander Pierce. So it's like he is maybe still the head of Hydra in the What If, and he did the same thing. So he hired Winter Soldier to kill Janet. But then at this point, we also don't know who the Winter Soldier is. So like we don't know if it has to do with Captain Carter.
Well,
we don't know if it's like her friend.
This is a different timeline. So when they find the shield, it's implied that it's Steve. So maybe it is still Bucky the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, because
you still think so? Okay.
Even Coulson's thing is hashtag Steve. I love Steve. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, we see that Hope is there, the gravestone, and Fury is there, and he is confronted by the killer, who turns out to be the original Ant-Man, but he's in the Yellow Jacket suit. So they get into this whole fight about like it's your fault that she's dead. It was, and like she was like, you had her do your dirty business for SHIELD, and then he was like, no, we're like she gave her life honorably serving as an agent, like. So he was like, this doesn't give you the right to kill innocent people. And so you could see he was very deranged in his eyes, like he lost everything. So he's just,
I've been flying up people's buttholes and killing them.
But
voiced by Michael Douglas.
Yeah, it flashes through a whole montage of how exactly he killed everyone. So through the serum pen, he actually was in the serum and he exploded out into like his arteries and like killed him. And then it also shows him flying out of Clint's ear when he's in the prison cell. So like when he slumped over, that's how he killed him too. And then I thought like maybe he injected Hulk with like the embiggen, like the enlarging thing on one of his organs, and that's how he exploded.
Is that what it was?
No, he threw the enlargement discs on his heart.
Yeah,
isn't that what?
Yeah. And then
that was sick.
He just fought Natasha hand to hand and won. And
see that was one of the things. That was one of the things that I was not necessarily disliked, but I was just like, what?
That one makes sense, dude. First of all, when she fought Ant-Man in Civil War, like the fact that she was able to shock him while she was holding his arm, while he was holding her arm, and she was able to shock him off, I felt like that was kind of a cop out. Like I feel like Ant-Man should definitely win against Black Widow.
That's true.
Really? I thought other way around. I thought that Natasha could handle.
She can't see him. She doesn't have any special like tech to see where he is, because like unlike Falcon or Iron Man, they're not able to see Ant-Man.
That's true.
Because they don't. Yeah. They have like the tech to do that, but she's just a hand-to-hand combatant. Like she'll.
And then the last one that they showed was like he actually knocked Clint's finger, like because it was raining, so it was like, oh, maybe he slipped and that's how he killed Thor. He actually like hit his hand so that he released the string that killed Thor. So he was behind all of these deaths. And this one I actually saw coming too, because at first I was like, because Fury is fighting now Yellow Jacket, and I was like, how is he just like smacking him? Like, like flying around and he just smacks him and all this stuff. You find out later that Fury is actually Loki masquerading as Fury, because he like multiplies himself and is like laughing at him. And it was interesting because during the confrontation, he even had him say like, you killed the Prince of Asgard. And he was like, so what? He was like, in the wrong place, wrong time or whatever. And he just basically said like, so you killed him because you could, and he was like, yeah, he was just like a casualty of war or whatever. And I felt like that was Loki talking about like, okay, you just like mercilessly killed my brother for no reason.
Yeah,
So-
it was kind of Fury's way to kind of get Loki on his side, but also for him just to admit what he did, so that it was like for real, it wasn't Nick Fury's fault, it was someone else's fault.
Yeah, and even Loki said like, or Fury told Loki like, you'll get your pound of flesh when we find the killer. He was like, I
Yeah.
require the whole body. So he like really beat him up, really beat Hank up like when they actually confronted him. And then so now Hank Pym is getting taken into custody. The real Fury appears and he says like, you honor Hope because like she died for all these people or whatever, or like her death needs to mean something. And then Loki says like, I think I'll stick around a little longer, and he was like, how long? And then you see Loki giving his like Loki speech from the movie, but this time in the same place that like Black Panther gives
It was
his-
the speech when he was making people kneel, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, Neil, yeah.
yeah, so he's giving the kneeling speech, but it's in like the same auditorium where Black Panther like reveals Wakanda. So it's like that was an interesting callback too, where he's like basically taking over the planet because they require subjugation or whatever. And then you see all of the caskets lined up with all of their insignias, and Fury saying like, the Avengers is still an idea and it's still built on like, it still exists basically. So he was still going to put his team together because like they don't want Loki ruling the world. And the next shot is him in the ice, and he wipes something off, and it's Cap's shield. And then Captain Marvel's like, so who are we gonna fight next or whatever?
And that wasn't Brie Larson, I don't think.
I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. They're getting a whole bunch of people.
And then there was an after credit scene where they bring Michael Douglas back to Asgard, and Heimdall's like, I knew it was this guy the whole time. I saw it from Asgard. Why didn't you guys just ask me? Could have told you who it was.
You had me there. I was like, wait, there was
I
a
know, I was
credit
like,
scene?
I waited till the end.
Yeah,
Lies.
I was like,
I
oh,
knew
shit.
it was him the whole time. You could have just asked me. I was just looking. Oh.
But overall, that like I said, I kind of caught on to who the killer was early, but I was like, why would he do it? And like the fact that Hope is dead, like that totally makes sense because he went through like a lot of turmoil when his wife died. Like how much more if he lost his daughter too?
And also the PIM particles, didn't they like, don't they say it kind of messes with your head?
Oh, that's right. It messes
Oh,
with his,
yeah.
the more he uses it, the more it messes with
Yeah.
his head. I put
Yeah.
it together when during the Widow fight in the library where something knocks her gun away first. So I'm like,
Oh,
that looked kind of, yeah, it looked reminiscent of the Ant-Man movies when he knocks stuff away. And then
Oh.
also I was like, who in the Marvel universe can turn invisible?
mhm.
And there was no one, and the closest thing is someone shrinking. So that's when I kind of put it together at that point,
Oh.
especially with the Janet Van Dyne prompt there. That's kind of what put it together for me. I didn't get it at the injector. That was still pretty early to get it at that point.
Yeah, I was
I
like,
put it together when they were in San Francisco, and it showed him.
Oh, oh yeah, of course.
but like I said,
Damn.
the fact that I caught it early was still like waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like why? And then it was surprising seeing him in the yellow jacket suit. Like that was a cool twist that he's not actually like in the Ant-Man uniform.
But he in the comics, he also plays Yellow Jacket for like a little while, right? Like
Yeah. That's
the
when he can
Ant-Man
grow, I
and
think.
Yellow Jacket moniker, like it goes hand in hand. Like they, yeah.
Okay.
One of the things that I mean, do you think Thor can really die from just an arrow?
Well, at that point, he wasn't. He didn't have any powers. Remember, he got hit by a car and he was tasered in Thor 1.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
So it
He
stands
had
to reason
just
that he's
fallen to Earth.
he's just mortal at that point. A big buff mortal, but he could still be killed.
Yeah, because when he died, I was like, wait, what? Just by an arrow? That's hella weak.
Because
But I mean, I guess I get it.
Yeah, his godliness comes back when he reunites with Mjolnir, right?
No, it comes later after he dies. Actually, when he sacrifices himself for the town in New Mexico.
Oh, when he gets hit by the destroyer.
Mhm.
Is
So
that
even
okay.
when he was trying to pick up the hammer, he still wasn't gonna become Thor because he still wasn't worthy at that point.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I think that's what I'm realizing with watching the What If series is like, especially that they animate old scenes from the older movies. Like, oh, I remember this, but like, it's again, like, who's the holiday killer? Like, I remember this, but I don't remember the details. So it's nice that it kind of makes you want to rewatch the old ones, or like at least recall like, how exactly it happened in our timeline universe.
The voice acting, it's starting to grow on me now. Like before, I was like, it looked kind of weird to me and it just didn't really fit. But now it's starting to fit a little bit more for me. But even maybe it's also because of Sam Jackson, like that fit really well. Like
Yeah,
that
his
worked.
voice was normal, like it was the
Yeah.
same pitch, and yeah, I think everyone and Michael Douglas's wasn't out there. It was still pretty noticeable.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
for me, it's growing a little more just because it's kind of like what you said in the previous episode where like it's because it's animated, maybe they're trying to like liven it up a little bit. So it's not as like dreary as the actual.
It's not just that it's animated, but it's animated in like a lighthearted way. It's more uplifting. It's not like DC's like, you know,
Yeah.
their universe where even that's dark. And so
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if there is a Winter Soldier, you still think it's Bucky and then Captain America is still Steve? So there's two Captain America? Well, I mean,
well,
I guess.
remember this is a every what if is its own universe, or it could be shared with a previous universe, but
Oh, I
each
thought
one
it all
is
connected or something.
No, they're all different.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, because we saw like what if Captain Carter was the first Avenger, but then like we still had Steve in the ice. So this is a completely separate universe. But how much it diverges from our timeline depends, because for Peggy's, it was just the fact that she stayed in the room. That's what changed it. And then for the Wakandan one for episode 2, like it changed everything because they took the wrong kid. So yeah.
And then this one even more because they killed the original Avengers.
Yeah, they killed everyone.
Yeah.
That for some reason I thought the first episode with Captain Carter that set off this whole connected universe.
Oh, and then it's just one universe of that whole divergent.
That's what I
timeline?
thought. That's what I thought.
No, I think it's yeah.
I think it's the fact that Loki opened the gateway for all of the timelines to exist concurrently. So like Captain Carter's timeline is here, and then like the one we just watched is like over here, and then the normal one is like somewhere in the middle. So I think the point of this is that every episode is going to be a different multiverse universe, and then maybe what you said, where like they'll come together in like some kind of Avengers type episode.
Okay. Cool.
I gotta say it was my favorite.
Liked it.
I liked it because it was a mystery, and I really like what whodunits. Those are great, and it was all the Avengers were getting killed, and that just drew me in. So I don't know. It was my favorite to date. We'll see what the next one is.
The reason why I suspected Hank or some form of Ant-Man was because of the DC comic run of that.
Oh yeah, with the identity. This one was very reminiscent of Identity Crisis to me. The whole
shit.
I think that's why I like immediately jumped there, because like when you see how it exploded under the microscope,
when there's no evidence, it's someone microscopic.
Yeah.
Damn. So good. So I didn't get it until the end of the episode.
That's fine.
Even after it was revealed, I was
Michael
like,
Douglas was talking, and Vince was like, "Who
could
it be?"
I was like, "What the heck?"
For some reason, so I saw Hope's name. For some reason, I thought she went by a different last name in the movies. I couldn't remember if it was still Van Dyne.
Hope Van Dyne, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I saw Hope.
Okay. But yeah, it was great. I liked it. I still like the second one better, I think, just because it's so out there, like with Thanos being one of the Ravengers and stuff.
Yeah, I think because for me it was just hella funny too.
Yeah,
like it was a really good just overall episode. It had like a lot of everything. Yeah. But this one, I totally get why you would like this one. This is like the first time they did a murder mystery. Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, so I liked it a lot. But yeah, cool. Yeah. So next week, the next episode of What If, are we covering anything else?
If anything else comes out in the meantime, like trailer wise, we can cover. But yeah, so far the next episode of What If.
Looking forward to it. I wonder what they have next.
So that does it for this episode of the Maganda Forever podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Vince.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Monica.
And we will see you next week.
I'm not Wakandan, but my bionic arm enhanced. Just say the words, I'm activated like a Nazi trance. Catch vibranium to your cranium, wanna glance. Full body cast from a Cyclops optic blast. I doubt you crews prepared for this hit. Catch a glimpse of who I'm with, have you scared of the clip? No heart-shaped herbs or any terrigen myths. I'm taking out your ankles on some anti-carrion shit.